In terms of, uh, oh, we haven't talked about it. We talked about, direct and indirect quotation stuff, so I'm not going to get into that again. There are also other kinds of transactions. I'm going to talk about more in chapter 6, but there is something called forward transactions, which means you agree on the rate right now, but the actual delivery uh, or the exchange of the currencies is going to take place at a future date. So that would be something like, I can say Chase Manhattan to Bank of Tokyo Mitsubishi. I could say JPY 50, 1224. This means give me a quote for $50 million against Japanese yen with delivery date of uh, December 24, 2024. If it's a different year, you add that too, obviously. Unless you say otherwise, it is the current calendar year. So the answer is going to be 144.94, something like that. The forward rate does not have to be same, lower, or higher than the spot. What determines that? We go into it, but the forward exchange rate could be lower, higher, or the same as the spot rate. And suppose I said mine. That means I will, I agreed to buy 50 million USD and pay 50 times 145.05. So that's 7.252 and a half million Japanese yen on December 24th. So I still have almost 4 months or maybe, 10 weeks left on the deal, or a little bit more than that, maybe 15 weeks left. Yeah. But on December 24th, I'm going to expect $50 million from Bank of Tokyo Mitsubishi, and I'm going to send them 7.2525 million Japanese yen. But we agree on the price now. Whether or not the exchange rate on the delivery date is 150 or 130 doesn't matter. We made an agreement. This is called a forward exchange, foreign exchange transaction, or FX. FX is short for foreign exchange. And quite a bit of transactions are of the forward nature. Let's look at it. In terms of average turnover, spot is about $2 trillion. Remember, this is 2019. Outright forwards are about $1 billion, and the swaps, which we're going to cover later, which is kind of a different way of doing forwards, it's about $3 trillion. So even in 2019, we're talking about over $6 trillion worth of daily volume. Okay, what are some reasons you think there is to make forward transactions? Exactly, it's hedge for hedging purposes or locking a price. If you know because of your transactions you have to pay $50 million to somebody, okay, and you have to pay him 50 million and get yen in return. You don't want to risk it, so you lock in a price right now. Or sometimes you speculate. You believe that Japanese yen is going to weaken, which means it is expensive now, or dollar is cheap now. You're going to buy 50 million at 145, but in 3 months you expect, let's say, it's going to be 150. So in 3 months, you actually sell $50 million in the spot market, get 150 per, but you have to pay back only 145. So you made 5 yen per $1 million, which should give you 250 million yen profits, either hedging or speculation. The actual forward markets, we're going to talk about the so-called futures market on chapter 6. A futures market is an organized market where you do forward transactions. Actual forward transactions are over the counter between two counterparties. So if I do a forward transaction between Chase Manhattan and Tokyo Mitsubishi, uh, the, you actually uh, are bearing counterparty risk because there is a chance that JP Morgan or Bank of Tokyo Mitsubishi says, I'm losing money on this deal. I'm not going to honor this commitment. Futures markets are the party that's counterparty risk is with the exchange. Exchange promises you that deal, but exchange makes the deal for both with the both sides. Of course, exchange also asks them for collateral, which is called a margin. If it's a major exchange, I haven't heard anybody who complained that Chicago Mercantile Exchange did not give them that money because it's a major market. They have money, so it's not a problem. So let's continue with this. Oh, page 10. Different exchange rates. We already talked about this. Most currencies are quoted in so-called European terms or the indirect quotation value of $1 uh, in that currency. The so-called American terms, it's the value or the direct quotation value of one foreign currency in US dollars. And these are four currencies: British pounds, Australian and New Zealand dollars, and euro. The cross exchange rates, it's actually the pair. So you could have a euro Swiss franc or Swiss franc South African rand. Oh, that story. Why do you think we don't have an abbreviation called SAR for South African rand? It's a major economy, so it has to do with politics. Yeah, the old Rhodesia or Southern Rhodesia, which is nowadays Zimbabwe, and the Northern Rhodesia, Zambia, by the way. Uh, until late 80s, there were a lot of